We have Aisha Tanzim, correspondent at Voice of America, now joining us uh, from the States with the latest. Aisha, take it away.
Thank you very much. So, as you guys have been telling your viewers, this whole race is about the swing states. So, let me explain to your viewers what's going on. So, obviously, 270 electoral votes is what they need to win. If they get their regular, Democrat versus Republican, Kamala Harris gets 226. Donald Trump has 219. So, this is where this is what it's all about. We are trying to figure out how she gets there and how he gets there. So let's now figure out how they get there. So if this is if Kamala Harris has to get to 70, these are the three states. This Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. This is the magic formula. If she loses any one of these states, the path to White House becomes very, very, very difficult. Pennsylvania, with its 19 electoral votes, that is the key state for either candidates. If they lose Pennsylvania, the path to White House is very difficult. Trump, though, has another path too. So if Trump wants to get to the White House, these are the four states that he can win. Right now, Georgia and North Carolina, we're expecting their results soon, in a couple of hours. As you know, whatever you're hearing now are mostly projections. The real results from the states will come in the coming hours and sometimes in days. So what a lot of media outlets are projecting is based on the voter turnout, whether it's largely in Democratic or Republican area, and the percentage of the voter turnout. So as you have seen, and this is what VOA has called, or VOA has projected, if I can get back to that state. Oh, okay. So I will explain to you as soon as I can get back to that. But what's happening is that this is regularly what Democrats win, and this is regularly what Republicans win. These states are easy to project. Every media house in US, VOA included, is saying that the toss-up states are too close to call. Even the battleground states where we are seeing results, for example, you were talking about Georgia. Yes, it is true that Trump is leading right now, but what we don't know yet is what about the remainder of the votes? And some indications are that the remainder of the votes may be coming from larger cities. And as we've seen, that larger cities sometimes vote more Democratic as opposed to rural areas. So even though Trump may be leading in one Democratic, in one battleground state, and Kamala Harris may be leading in another. However, right now the battleground states are really a toss-up. It's a razor thin margin, which is why everyone's being super, super careful and nobody is calling them yet. The night is young and it is going to be a long night. What we've heard from election officials in this election cycle is
Aisha, yes, we're hearing that it could be a long night. It could be a long few days as well. But if we were to ask you about who's really coming out to vote, because we've been seeing constant appeals from Donald Trump, literally at the top of every hour, saying you need to come out and vote in big numbers. Elon Musk is saying on behalf of Donald Trump that men need to come out and vote. We've seen Kamala Harris on Twitter appealing to young voters, telling people to stay in line and vote. Clearly, this race is too close to call. Which are the demographics which will really matter to both the candidates at this juncture?
So the demographics that'll really matter. For Kamala Harris, it's women, women, women. She has been appealing to women, and her volunteers have been knocking on doors. They knocked on millions of doors this weekend. The other demographic is Puerto Ricans, because as you know, at his closing arguments in a Madison Square rally, there was a comedian who made a comment about Puerto Rico being, a floating island of garbage, and that has offended some Puerto Ricans. So Kamala Harris is hoping that that will get her some votes. So, and obviously the blacks have been a long time constituency of Democrats. We have seen less support for Kamala Harris among young black men than we saw for Biden and for, President Obama, etc. What President Trump is trying to do is trying to get his base out, especially white men without college degree. They have been leaning towards President Trump, and if he can get his base out, he can win. And both campaigns are also trying to keep some voters in. So, for example, in Michigan, the Arab American voters, if they stay in, Kamala Harris loses. If they come out, the vote is still divided and it's going to be very close, but she has a good chance. So it's about who can you get out and who can you keep in. Both are equally important.
All right. Thanks very much, Aisha. We'll keep coming back to you. And thanks, Parikshit, for that as well. Really appreciate it. Well, let's